Hey everyone, I'm AdamHarry with
JayArr.
We're from BoLS, and we're back with another BoLS Retro Corner. Today we're taking a look at the Index Astartes 2. We've already done number 1, and there's two more after this.
Yeah, but unlike all of the other ones, this time it's personal.
Yeah. Index Astartes 2. This time it's personal.
Exactly.
Not Electric Boogaloo.
No, that's different.
So, if you're not familiar with the Index Astartes real fast, these were collections of short stories that were originally printed in the White Dwarf, and they kind of broke down different things, different chapters, different offshoot chapters. It's kind of cool stuff.
Yeah, and this one specifically talks about the Space Wolves, the Night Lords, the Imperial Fists, Blood Angels, and Death Watch and Grey Knights, and the Black Templar, and Space Marine Chaplains, and something else that we're going to get into at the very end, and it's pretty cool, and I'm excited about that, but we'll talk about all the other stuff first.
Again, this was just a collection of articles that were originally printed in White Dwarf, and so you can see the familiar format from the White Dwarf, but this talks about, obviously, these Space Wolves are up first. It's just going to go through their color scheme, their iconography, all of their origins. I love these sections too because you get more a more fuller look at these individual chapters. You'll see a lot of this lore has been rewritten or reworked or expanded upon in all of the codexes ever since.
And some of it even has rules. I want to point out real quick because it caught my eye. There is a saga right here that is kind of amazing.
Yeah.
And now...
and there's more.
Now that turns your Warlord trait into a 6-inch aura ability.
Bingo.
So if you want like a saga, you know, this book has got some cool stuff in here.
You also get a look too real fast. You get talks about their organization. Again, they use great companies, and it's as opposed to Space Marine chapters like the other.
Right, because they're rebels.
They're rebels without shaving equipment. They've got gene seed information, beliefs, combat doctrines, kind of again how they fight, and then their battle cry, which is a really long one, but really it's just a howl.
Yes.
So it's a long description to say they howl.
They do howl.
We get a quick look at some of the artwork from back in the day, some of the other models, and then you're going to see that same kind of format repeated for each one of the chapters. Here's the Imperial Fist. Again, Sons of Dorn. Slow down there, JayArr. It does have special rules. This is what I wanted to show off real fast. Too.
Okay.
For back in the day, you could actually run an Imperial Fist army specifically, and you had your own special rules.
Oh, cool.
Again, these were sort of optional because they were originally printed in White Dwarf, and this was kind of the way that you collected those rules. And you'll see that again as we get to the Black Templars.
Wow, I like some of their special rules. I love that this blind to the risk. If the game ends, you can decide that one extra turn of the game is played.
Yeah.
But it's up to your opponent to decide that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So it's an interesting thing. Again, a lot of the stuff, I guess, if you're looking at it for the current 8th edition meta, it's not exactly match play appropriate.
Right, but...
if you're playing in a tournament specifically, but for narrative and open gaming, it's fantastic. It's just some cool stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Then we get to the showcase. This one's going to double up. It's going to have Imperial Fist stuff. It's going to have some Blood Angel stuff in there as well. Just because if we keep going, I think we're going to do Night Lords and then Blood Angels.
Oh, Night Lords.
Here we have one of the Traitor Legions, and it goes through, again, all their cool stuff. Talks about Conrad Kurz.
The Dark King.
Yes. And then his life on... Nostromo and stuff like that, how he basically became evil Batman, and
the Night Haunter.
Talks about the Horus Heresy and that whole thing, how that affected their chapter specifically, and then again all of the other stuff we've seen previously. Quick paint jobs, quick look at the paint jobs. Sorry, we have again the classic Night Lord scheme, and then just some heavy metal showcase stuff.
Jeez, this Dreadnought looks amazing. Yeah. Look at that!
Pretty cool stuff.
Its leg got all chaosed.
It got Tyranited, but
yeah, I guess it did get Tyranited, didn't it? Wow, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Conversions, man.
Conversions.
Now we get to the Blood Angels. Again, colors of the chapter. We've seen this expanded upon in other books too, but you have your basics here. Assault Marines, basically close combat, close support units have yellow helmets, tactical squads have red helmets,
Devastators
are blue, and then your honor guard's going to have gold, and then the different shoulder pad. Again, we've seen that expanded upon. Goes into all of the cool stuff we've seen before.
Talks about the Death Company. Talks about goes like deep into all the lore,
the home world of them as well.
Man, there's
how balls are radiated. Thing.
It's just not a fun place to be. And then it talks about, as you might expect, it talks
a lot about their gene
lot
defects.
about their gene seed.
Yeah, the defects and the curse and all that other stuff. And it's funny too because some of the stuff's been kind of expunged or deleted over, just kind of as a nod to like, they're fine.
They're fine. It's all fine.
Yep.
And then of course we get to the Death Watch.
Yeah, this is actually the Grey Knights and the Death Watch chapters. They kind of combine them
I
both.
See. Yeah, because you see the Death Watch right here, but then it talks about the Grey Knights.
Well, that's the funny part about it is if you read the text real closely, these are Grey Knights.
What?
Yeah, so
man, I am learning so much today.
Yeah, the armor was originally this color. It was black, and that's kind of what's interesting about the Death Watch Grey Knights kind of modern take on it, because now we know Death Watch it comes from all the other chapters tend to tie of Marines to go on Death Watch. They have black painted armor with silver shoulder pads, silver arms. This is the traditional Death Watch look, but
it's the Grey Knights.
Grey Knights.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, so if you've ever wondered about that, yeah.
I have. My mind is getting blown right now.
They got updated later on.
Of
and
course.
Again, the Death Watch colors, very similar to Grey Knights. And you notice the difference here is actually the shoulder pad.
That they've got that gold shoulder pad, and these have that other thing. And I guess they look a little glossier. You can see the highlights on there.
It's less of a flat black versus, a glossy back. But essentially, you're looking at the same color scheme. The difference was that golden shoulder pad, and again, eventually that was changed. I forget when the Grey Knights actually got a book, they painted them gray. So,
wow,
or silver. So
of course, this is pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. Then we get into the. By the way, Grey Knights and Death Watch. You have the Xenos. You have the Xenos fighters and the demon fighters,
right?
Yeah, that's why they kind of got folded into the same.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Stuff. Moving on. Okay, now we get to Black Templars. Again, classic paint schemes for them. One thing I always liked about the Black Templar, this particular art image, is you actually see their eyes are painted green.
Yeah.
A lot of people paint them red, but if you
want
a traditional paint scheme,
it's green. You want OG Black Templars.
Yeah.
So what do the Black Templars do?
They are a offshoot chapter. They actually come from Dorne, and I believe. Yeah, they were originally Imperialists. This was kind of retconned around, I want to say the launch of 3rd edition. This forget exactly when this article from White Dwarf was written, but it was used as an introduction to Black Templars. Eventually, they got their own codex in the Armageddon Codex. They were a offshoot in that chapter as well, offshoot army in that book as well. But this is kind of encompasses all their lore. Talks about the Emperor's Champion, obviously.
Right.
Talks about some of the beliefs.
And the Land Raider Crusader.
The Land Raider Crusader was their special thing.
Wow.
You get some paint job stuff, but more importantly, go to the next page. We have special rules for them.
Wow.
This is kind of the precursor to the 3rd edition 3.5 Black Templars, and then again when they got redone yet again. So they had their own special rules, righteous zeal, purity seals. They had different vows they would take. They had their own unique chapter organization too, because they're a fleet-based chapter. So
they're like knights, even for Space Marines.
Yeah, they were very, very different. They played differently because of the vows. Yeah,
and then of course you've got their army list.
Their army list.
Okay,
yeah,
so the Emperor's Champion, the Marshal troops.
Yep.
Their special Land Raider.
One of the big thing too that separated them was their Black Templar squads. You could have initiates and neophytes in a mixed squad, which is where we get some of the old mixed armor combat rules. Because if you look here, the initiates had a 3-up save, the neophytes had a 4-up save. So how do you do saves like that? It was a really different and unique way to do that. They were also really easy to paint, so a lot of people.
Yeah,
people jumped in.
Black, white, and then green on the eyes if you're paying attention.
Yeah, it was pretty. Plus, they got their own custom heavy support layer,
right? Which
was only 255 points.
Jeez, 14s all around. It's got some. It's got extra armor.
Yeah, everybody had extra armor. That was an extra 5 points. Hurricane bolters, or just all that fun stuff, and then frag launchers. Next up, we take a look at the chaplains and kind of what their different roles is. Here we have a Salamander's chaplain, just kind of to show him off, but they're all there's the different headgear from different chapters and stuff like that. But this just kind of talks about how they venerate the Emperor and kind of what they do in a chapter.
That's cool. Like, I've always kind of wondered about that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I know they all wear skulls and have a lot of, like, extra death imagery around them.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to like, it's nice to see that all of this stuff is out there.
They also talk about some famous chaplains throughout the different Space Marine chapters.
Like Lemartes, the Guardian of the Lost.
We got Cassius, we got the Ulrich the Slayer, Salamander's chaplain Xavier, and then, of course, Asmodai. Yes.
Whatever.
So it's just what they do. Now we get to one of the... I don't know how to describe this. This is the Cursed Founding section.
Yeah.
The 13th founding of the Space Marines. Again, you had the first founding, which was the original 20, down to 18, because 2 got lost, whatever, we don't talk about them anymore. Then you had the second founding, which was after the Horus Heresy.
Right.
And then you've had subsequent foundings since then, where more and more Space Marine chapters were created from either legions that needed to shrink more or just new recruits.
Right.
Etc. They got to the 13th founding. Something didn't work right. So they call it the Cursed Founding. And this whole section is basically short-ish kind of recap done in like an archaeological journal archive.
It's it looks like it's a correspondence between Inquisitor Belial and Inquisitor Apollyon.
Yeah, and if you know who those Inquisitors, Belial is actually a Dark Angel, but not the different guy.
Different guy.
These are 2 different guys.
Right.
They talk about this trip, and it's basically an excavation to a Geno lab. They find a test subject who is like a Marine, but I'm going to read this quote real fast. They do an incision. They're doing an autopsy. They cut him open. They find the bone shield. The rib cage has been fused. All the bones are one big shield, which is like Space Marines, which is normal.
Okay.
They cut him open. They find a bunch of different organs. I want to read this part right here. The interior of the subject's chest cavity contains a number of organs whose purpose is undetermined. Primary heart, lungs, kidneys, and liver are present, and in regard to mass to muscle ratio, must have been many times more efficient than even the Space Marines of the present day are known to be. I'm going to pause right there. That thing's got to be big.
Yeah.
Like a muscle mass ratio. It goes on to say, as well as these organs are a number of other organs of unknown origin. This guy knows about Space Marine organs,
and
so there's more organs on top of that.
Ooh, sounds familiar.
Yeah. So, goes on to there, some bad stuff happens. The guy that was leading this project turns and kills some people and then releases the guy. It gets crazy.
Those extra organs, though, did get sealed in stasis jars for transport to laboratory facilities on Mars to be analyzed by the Genitors.
Yeah, so maybe Janitor Call became, somebody got some package. Anyway, long story short, everything goes bad. The site gets purged by the Grey Knights, who were wearing black armor at the time, probably. But you can see the picture. That's a big dude.
That is a big dude.
We got these stasis chambers. Again, that's a big dude inside there. Something's going on.
Wow.
There's 2 competing theories now that we're in the modern version of 40K. One theory is that that was a Thunder Warrior.
Oh, okay,
because it explains, there's some talk there about rapid cell growth and rapid maturity, which Thunder Warriors were notoriously short-lived because the Emperor designed them that way.
Right.
They were bigger than Space Marines, they were stronger than Space Marines, so the Emperor designed them to be his war dogs and then
design them to die, so that they wouldn't stick around and get their own ideas and uprise and all that,
like Marines did. Moving on from there, the other option is these could be proto-Primaris Marines.
Yeah.
Somebody at GW may have remembered the story and used that as inspiration for the new Primaris.
Well, and we know that Call did some shady things.
Call was on Mars,
right? He was on Mars, and he worked with all of the Gene Seed, not just the Loyalist Gene Seed.
Yeah, he's done some stuff. Night Lords are in this book, specifically, just saying. Pretty interesting stuff, but that is all for the Index Astartes 2.
That's cool.
That's some cool stuff in here. We'll be back with 3 and 4 at a later date. Stay tuned. I'm AdamHarry.
I'm JayArr.
We're both from BoLS Souls.
Thanks for watching.
Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.